Hi, and welcome again to another MyCom screencast. My name is Seiberling, and today we're going to dive a little bit deeper into the idea of using some online design tools that your church can use to create communication materials. And so previously on MyCom, we ended up talking about two. One was Design Feed IO and Adobe Spark. There are some basic elements that you can use to create, whether it's sermon series graphics, scripture quotes, sometimes even event posters, kind of add a nice design element to it. Those are just some basic capabilities that you can use. What we're going to do is we're going to dig into a different kind of tool that allows you to make it more your own. Instead of just relying on templates, now you can start to upload some of your own fonts, your own graphics, and those things, and really take things to the next level. And so I want to introduce Canva and Crello. Both look pretty similar. There's just a few different capabilities between the two, but both have the same basic business model. There's the regular free version of it, and when you use the free version, there are some of the, let's say, the templates that you could use, photos and design element that you may have to pay $1 for to use. The difference between the two falls in the ability for a team to work together all on the same design tool. So Canva allows you to do that. And Canva also allows you to create a set of brand guidelines. So what is your headline font? What is your subhead font? What's your body copy font? What are your colors? And so on, in order to really keep a consistent look and feel. And then as well as it allows you to create some templates that then you can duplicate over time. Both are worth your time to be able to take a look at and to just play around with. And they're both pretty easy to learn, and they both operate in relatively the same way. But we're going to dig a little bit into not only Canva, but Canva for Work. So Canva for Work is the one that allows teams to come together. And so this can be free for churches with the right paperwork. Now, the interesting thing about that is for United Methodist churches is that they fall under only one 501c3 filing. So you need to go to umgroupruling.org, which is a site which is run by GCF&A, and you just have to fill out a simple form, and then they will email you a copy of it. You'll need that as you set up your nonprofit account. You'll have to create just a basic Canva account to start, and then you'll have to apply to Canva for Work. And so the URL is here on the screen, and then we'll also have it in the show notes. But there are a number of questions that you have to be able to answer, so it will take some time. Okay, now here we are on the login screen for canva.com, but let me just give you a quick orientation first. On this side, on the right, is your ability to hear all your designs shared with you, create a team so you could email other people, and then your brand. The other nice thing, which is really nice about canva.com, is you can add a folder. So I'm just going to add one here, and let's just call it Easter Egg Hunt. And so then that creates a folder. And once we've created material too, then I'll show you how to use those. On the top here are the different types of designs that you can use. So they've got posters, postcards, regular cards in the mail, flyers, business cards, invitations, and a whole lot more. Once you click on that, then you're going to see just a large number of different elements that you can use, whether it's for blogging, whether it's to create a logo, brochure, even a different social media headers, and even just event element. You've just got a lot of different templates that you can use, even for, let's say it's a Twitter post or so on, and they're all sized right. All right, so let's go back. Okay, now that I've just given you a quick walkthrough on what's available for Canva, let's go and set up our brand. And so here we're going to click my brand. And so the advantage is once you're on the Canva for Work tool, and you can't do this in the free version, but once you're on the Canva for Work tool, you can set up your brand colors, your logos, and even upload your fonts and set what are the standard fonts that you want to do. So for today, we're actually going to do a short project for Columbia United Methodist Church, which is located here in Columbia, Kentucky. And so they've defined already what their colors are. And we're just going to put those in. So all you have to do is click, and then you enter in the hex code down here at the bottom. And so first we had in red, and then we're going to put black in there. And then we've got a few other colors, accent colors, that we end up using. So, and let's just do that. So there's a green. And as you can see, it's just very simple for you to be able to do. And once you do that, then you can end up making sure that everyone's using the same color red, the same color blue, and so on, which is really important as you start to create materials. Now, the other thing that we can do is if you have your logos designed, you can upload those as well. So we're just going to go here and we're going to upload those. And so as we go to Columbia United Methodist Church, it can take PNGs and GIFs and so on. And so we're just going to go and pull both the black and the white logos. And so there you go. And so it's on the transparent background here. And that's one of the things as you create your PNGs, really make sure that it's a transparent background. Otherwise, when you try to put it on a colored background, it'll end up showing as a block white, a big white block. Okay, so next what we're going to do is we're going to upload our fonts. And so what we end up needing to do is there's some fonts that we've selected. So broadcast matter, and you need to make sure that you properly own the licensing for the font. That will be used for our headlines. And then what they use is Optima Regular for their subheads and their body copy. And then once you have those uploaded, then you can start to change it here. So you just click on the edit button and you just change it. So broadcast matter, and we're actually going to make the font bigger because this font needs to be, and then we'll do the subhead and then the body copy. There we go. So there we have all three. And so then this provides the basic brand inspiration and the basic elements to be able to do that. Now, if you need some inspiration or suggested font combinations, of course, you can go here, and Canva's got a wonderful set of help tools in order to really inspire you to be able to do that. So, okay, let's go back. So first, we're going to get started by creating a design. And so as you look across the designs, we're going to start with a Facebook post. So as it loads, if you notice on the left side, there are a number of templates that we can use in order to create this Facebook post. And so we're going to look here and we're going to pick this one. And so the first step that I would recommend is just changing both the title and the subhead into your equity fonts. So we already set those up in my brand, and so we'll just get those changed over. Next, what we can do is then change both the headline and the subhead into this. And so for this is for a family fun night that's being held at our church. And so we just reposition it a little bit, and then we can change the subhead in order to have the information we want. In this case, it'll be the location, the date, and the time. And so we just go through and we make those changes. Here we go. We end up typing that in. Then we just have to make sure everything fits and that we've got it set up the right way, including whether we want it in all caps and so on. So it's easy, just drag and drop, and it's very, very simple, and it works very similar to, let's just even say, Microsoft Word. So once we get it positioned right, now what we're going to do is change the photo. So you can just delete it, and then you can either search through the photos that are available in Canva. So you see here we're searching on family, and some of them are free, which you could use without any cost. The ones that say $1, you can use them there for $1. And in this case, I had a photo uploaded that I found on a stock photo site that was available for free commercial use, and I just placed that in the background. Now just fix all the elements, and then I also want to add a box around this just to add a little bit more visual distinctiveness to it, and you'll start to see how that plays out as we work on all the other materials. So we're going to use it like a border, and so, but you can pick any of the different types of boxes. This one's has a little bit of a rough edge, and then so we have it placed, and then I'm just going to change the color and make it a little transparent. And so you see there, just click there for transparency, and we'll just make it around 80%, so 20% transparent. The other thing that we'll do is we'll make sure to add the logo. As you remember, we previously uploaded the logos, and so you just click on the logo piece, and then you just drag and drop it and size it to the appropriate size. You can just make the finishing touches, make sure everything's placed exactly where we want it, and save it. Now, sometimes you can have some issues with layering on Canva, so just had to move the box out of the way, and then you could change the color and just move the box back. You also see the Arrange tab up at the top that you can move things forward or back. So here, the other thing to make sure that you do is that you change the design title. And so you just click on where it says Mike Archer, and then it pops up, and you can just type it in and hit done. And then it saves automatically, but and sometimes you can just hit save. Now, the other nice thing about Canva is that you can it'll automatically resize. So what we're doing is we're picking different types of media that we want to have, including was Instagram, a Facebook event cover, and we're even going to do a postcard. And so we just click that, and then when you click out Abracadabra, and then if you see all the new tabs that form, they are all using the same image, the same words, and now you can just make adjustments for each. And so the first thing usually I would do is I would go through and rename it. So this will have postcard. And we'll just move some of the items around to fit the new format. Move the box a little bit so we maintain that border. Move this around maybe a little bit so it works with the picture. You can even just grab and make the picture a little bit bigger and just make some adjustments. Now what we're doing is we're adding a second page there. You just click the Add New Page piece. And then for postcards, you can actually find templates that end up both the front and the back. So we already have the front, so just looking for one that works for the back. And just make sure you pick the right font here. And so we're typing in the address like you would any other type of postcard. And so we just type in the Burkesville Street address. The other nice thing is you'll notice on this that there is spell checkers. So you see the red underline bit, and so we just had to spell that correctly. And we scroll up just a touch. We're going to take Madison Institute of Fine Arts out, and we're going to go ahead and put our logo back in. So again, click logos, and you just grab the right logo. In this case, it has to be the one with the black. And then we can just move things around. Now, the other thing on a postcard that you generally want to do is you want to add some text. So what we'll do is we just click on text, and so we're just going to put a subheading, and so that already uses the equity font that we had. So here we're going to add that in. So this is the headline that we're using for this event. You grab the last rays of summer as a family. And so we just place that in the right area. And we can change the color and see how we like that. And what we can do is then drag over some body text and add that as well. And we're going to do that right here. And so we'll just make sure it's the right size. Make sure that you've got it either right or left justified. And then you can just drag that in and make that in. You can also cut and paste from a Word document, which makes it really easy to make sure that you've got the right language on there and so on. But now we have it, and there's the back of the postcard. And so in just a few minutes, we were able to do both the front and the back of a postcard. Save it just to make sure, but it'll automatically save as well. And now we're just going to make adjustments to all the other elements. You see it's just changing the blocks, moving some things around, maybe adjusting the font. And so this is for the Facebook event page. And so again, it automatically puts it in the right format. And then we're just going to work our way through the rest of the different elements. So here's an Instagram post. And again, it's just the same basic process. So now we're going to make the same kind of change to the Pinterest graphic as well. And again, just change the photo, change the locations, and so on. So as you can see, it can be very easy in order to take one piece of advertising, and once you design that, to be able to take it into a large number of elements to be able to use for your communication plan. And so sometimes you may have to change the color or change the filters on the picture. But again, just sometimes you got to tweak it, but it's much faster than trying to create everything from scratch. And The last piece we're going to talk about is really, this is creating a poster. Now this is an 18-inch by 24-inch portrait poster. And so this is where you really do need to make sure that you use high-res graphics. So, we'll end up using the same basic format that we did before, so everything looks pretty similar. But we do have to make some room in order to have some copy in order to be able to provide more details for the event. Now these posters, what we'll end up doing for the church is just placing that around town at different storefronts. And so this is just a really easy way to do that. Again, you just adjust the fonts, you do the locations, and then you just have to figure out a way to be able to include a little bit of a text block so you can do some explanations here. So what I ended up doing is I just moved the box up and then just adding the headline and the body copy, just if you remember, similar to what we saw on the postcard. And so we just place that. And then, so here comes the body copy. And so we can move that, but as you can tell, it's pretty unreadable on top of a picture. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a box right underneath that, or a square. And so usually in Canva, what you can end up doing is they've got different shapes. And so you just find the right one, and then of course you can change the color and change the transparency. And then I'm going to move it backwards so that way the copy appears on top of it. Adjust the transparency just to make sure that it provides enough backing so you can see the copy. And then just move everything around. But again, you can see relatively quickly I was able to take the design that we used for a Facebook post and turn it into a full high-resolution poster. Great. Now the other thing you can do on Canva is you can actually professionally print it directly from the tool. So whether you use the poster, in this case what we'll do is we'll just show a postcard example where you can have it printed double-sided on premium paper and so on. Now the prices are you may be able to find better prices whether it's a local printer or if it's, for example, like Vistaprint or some other of those online printing services, but you can do that. The other thing you can do is download a high-resolution PDF that you may need for a printer, or you can download a JPEG and so on, and it just goes straight to your downloads that you see. And so with that, you can end up, basically you're able to create a whole host of materials, and now you see it on your board. And what I'm showing is how you can then add all of that to a folder just by simple drop and drag. And then when you click on it, when you click on that particular folder, you will only see those materials as compared to other things that you're working on. So for a church, you may just want to have, for example, Family Fun Night is one event, and that's what you would call the folder. Now, what I'm going to show here is that you can also use these as templates. And so here I've got the template of the poster that we just created, and I want to publish that as a template for my team. So when I come back to, let's say, the next piece, I click on poster, and you see Canva layouts. You can also look at team templates, and there you've got the Family Fun Night that you had saved as a template. Now I'm going to do the same thing for an Easter egg hunt. And so, just again, it's the same basic process. Easter egg hunt, and we put the right information on there of date, time, location, and so on. And in this case, it's going to be in partnership with the college. And again, you just put your headline, your body copy, and then change the picture. And so there I just took it out. And then in this case, I actually had a picture. There was a set, if you notice the little, what looked like a tree scene, just make sure that you put the picture right on the trees, and then it should go across the entire area. And so here, again, I'm just making some simple adjustments. Get the font right, and change some of the colors, just to make sure that it shows up on the new image. Move a few things around. And so in this case, there was just a little bit more information that we wanted to have. So I just created another, just copied a text box. That way I could make some adjustments of the spacing between the paragraphs. And there you go. And so I was able to create a new poster it was about 2 minutes in real time. That's what we're able to do with Canva. And so again, the other nice thing is you can share it with other people. So in this case, you just type in an email address and send it, or you can have a link as well. So that's it. Throughout the screencast, what we showed is first how Canva works, and then from there how we can use it in order to create a number of different communication materials for your church. So some key just kind of steps for you to use in doing this is, number one, get very clear on your brand elements. What are the colors, the fonts that you want to use? What's the general visual style that you want to use throughout all of your different communication materials? And just get really, really clear on it. Start with one project, whether it was like we did with the family fun night or an Easter egg hunt or something else, and then just look through the different templates and the visual elements that you picked and try to find one that really fits and really works. Once you do that, then create one element like we did with the Facebook post, and then resize it into the different materials that you need. This will give you a chance to continue to test out your brand elements and make sure that they work for you, help you define what you're looking for. Once you get all that done and you resize it, then you can actually turn those into templates that you can use and reuse for different events. And literally, it's changing one element like I did with the picture can give you a whole new look. Yet still make it feel like it comes from the same place. And you can see that in the difference between the family fun night and the Easter egg posters, and just the other elements that we can create with that. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to email me at eric@brokensheep.com. Thanks so much. I hope you learned a few things, and have a great day, and God bless.